Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jordan, and I am really excited that you're here today because today we're going to talk about how to buy a laundromat. That's right. If you are in the market for laundromats or you're thinking about maybe purchasing a laundromat in the near future and you just kind of want to know more about what it takes to buy a laundromat, well, you're in luck because today we're going to talk all about that. And let's just jump right into it today. So the first question that we need to answer is, why would you buy a laundromat? And we've done some other videos and we've written some blog posts and stuff about why to do that. And I encourage you to go to the video that we created, the 10 reasons why laundromats might just be the best investment that you can make. I feel like without even trying, we made a pretty good argument for why you might want to consider buying a laundromat. So I'm just going to put a link down in the bottom there for you. Go check that video out as soon as you're done with this one. And hopefully that'll convince you that laundromats are at least worth a look as long as you buy them correctly. And we're going to talk a little bit about how you buy one correctly today. So there are tons of compelling reasons. I think one of the biggest compelling reasons, just to whet your appetite a little bit, is that you can get really high cash flows based on the investments you can make, anywhere from 20 to 35% unleveraged returns is not unheard of. And so that's a great place to put your money, and it's money that's being earned, not necessarily tied to your time. So there's the popular saying, I want to say Warren Buffett said it, and he said, hey, you're never going to get rich unless you can figure out how to make money while you're sleeping. And that's kind of what a laundromat is. It does take some time and some effort, but the amount of money that you make is not necessarily tied to that amount of time and effort. So definitely worth a consideration. Go check out that video. The link's down below as soon as you finish this one. So let me encourage you to do that. Next, I just wanted to kind of give a brief overview of who typically buys laundromats. And there are lots of different types of people who buy laundromats, obviously coming from all different experiences and socioeconomic levels and countries and everything. So there's obviously anybody can buy a laundromat. And I want to encourage you, hopefully you have some interest in doing that, and that's why you're here. I want to just let you know that you can be the kind of person who buys a laundromat. But just to sort of fill that out a little bit, a lot of times the people that I'm coaching with and consulting with are doctors, lawyers, dentists, people in IT who have some income, real estate investors who have equity in a property and they want to put that equity to use. Those kinds of people tend to be drawn to laundromats because of the high cash flow returns relative to any other investment, really, and also relative to the time that you need to put into it. So that's very attractive to them. The fact that they can be run on the side is just icing on the cake, especially for a busy professional. These high earner professionals tend to be attracted to laundromats, but also there's just regular people like me who I don't necessarily earn a ton of money or anything like that. I come from a pastoral background and not a traditionally high-paying career path. So don't be discouraged if that's not you, because there are plenty of average Joes like me that are buying laundromats and doing well and reaping the benefits of that cash flow and other benefits outlined in that other video. Go check it out, link below. So don't be discouraged if you're not a high earner professional. There are plenty of other people who are just smart and want to buy assets that produce for them. And that sounds like that's you because you're here right now listening to this video or watching the video. So tons of different kinds of people. And let me just encourage you that you definitely can be one of those people. And today we're going to talk about a little bit about how to do that. Now, in order to buy a laundromat, obviously you need to find a laundromat that's for sale. That's the first step. So there's a few different ways to do that. I want to just pause for a second before we jump into that and just let you know that on our website, laundromatresource.com, we have a free ebook for you to download. It's called The Keys to Buying Your First Laundromat. And it has all of this information that we're talking about today and more. I really encourage you to go laundromatresource.com and download that free ebook. Again, laundromatresource.com. I'll have a link down below so you can just click into it and go get that ebook. It has a ton of information on how to buy a laundromat, and will really fill out everything we're talking about today. So, back to how do you find a laundromat for sale? Well, there's some just three main ways that I think you can find a laundromat that's for sale. The first way is to find a laundromat broker or a small business broker and just let them know, hey, I'm interested in buying a laundromat. Do you have any that are for sale right now? Can I look at some pro formas? Can I see what you have to offer? Can you put me on your email list so when laundromats come through, you'll send the email over to me so I have a chance to look at that laundromat and see if it's a good fit for me and for what I'm looking for. So the first way is talking to a broker. The second way to find one is to go to the second way to find one is to go on online sites and something like Biz Buy Sell or laundromats-for-sale.com. A good buddy of mine owns that site, and there's laundromats for sale there. Go check those sites out, and that'll just present you with laundromats for sale in your area, and or just across the nation, United States and Canada, and find laundromats in, and that'll help you get a feel for what laundromats are selling for, what to look for when you're buying a laundromat, what kinds of numbers we're talking here in terms of price for sale. And those can range dramatically from 30 grand to over $1 million. And it really depends. So online listings, number two, and probably the easiest way to find a laundromat for sale. Not typically the best deals out there, but it'll just give you a feel, and you might find a good deal there too. So that's the second way. And the third way to find a laundromat for sale, it's something that I've done before and it can be very effective, is whenever you see a laundromat, just go pop in there. And if the owner is there, just start up a conversation. Say, hey, I'm looking to buy a laundromat. Like, is your laundromat for sale? Or do you have another one that's for sale? Or do you know somebody who's selling one? A lot of times talking to these owners, you'll find deals that aren't on the market yet. And that's happened to me before. One time I was having Taco Tuesday with a couple buddies, and there was a laundromat next door to the taco shop. And while we were there, one of the dryers caught on fire, and the fire department came, and it was just, wild. Everything was fine and everyone was okay, and the place didn't burn down or anything. But a couple of days later, I was driving by and I was like, I'm going to swing in there and just see, now might be a good time to buy this laundromat off this owner. And I ended up catching the owner there and saying, hey, I'm looking to buy a laundromat. Is this one for sale? And he said it wasn't, but that he had another location that was for sale. And we went and took a look at that a couple of days later, and I ended up not purchasing that one for various reasons, but that opportunity was there to do that. So definitely pop into laundromats and just let it be known to these laundromat owners that you are looking for a laundromat to buy. And those are three great ways to find a laundromat to buy. Talk to some brokers, browse around online on websites like laundromat-for-sale.com and Biz Buy Sell, and hey, pop into laundromats and talk to laundromat owners. So that's the best way to find a laundromat for sale, or at least begin the process of doing that. And I'll just put a little plug in. If you are looking for a laundromat to buy, go to laundromatresource.com/buy, B-U-Y, and just sign up for our buyers email list. And all that will do is put you on a list so that when laundromats come through our system, we get laundromat owners who want to sell their laundromats that are coming to us, and we're selling laundromats and across across the country, across the United States. And we haven't crossed into Canada yet, but we have some prospects and we're kind of working on that a little bit. But across the United States for right now, we have laundromat owners who are selling through us. And if there's a laundromat that comes up in your area, we will forward that pro forma onto you and see if that's something that you're interested in buying. So go to laundromatresource.com/buy. A link's down below. And just get on that buyer's email list. We're not going to spam you. It doesn't cost you anything, but just get on there. So quick plug is over. Okay, the next thing that we need to think about is how are we going to pay for this laundromat? And one of the downsides of laundromats that ends up being an upside to laundromats is that the financial barrier of entry can be pretty high. Laundromats are kind of expensive. And I know that there's a lot of popular YouTube videos about how to get laundromats for free, and you can do that. It's not quite as straightforward and not quite as free as advertised, but there are techniques and we will talk about those. You don't need to buy a course or anything like that. We're going to go through all that here on this channel on how you can pick up a laundromat for free, essentially, sort of, and or very cheap, and try to build up a business from there. So we'll talk about that. But by and large, the laundromat industry is a high barrier of financial entry. So that's bad news because not everybody has a lot of money. But the good news is that's only an obstacle, and it's an obstacle that can be overcome. And there are a lot of different ways to get financing for laundromats. And we actually have a blog post. I'll link it down below. Also, we have a blog post that is called the 8+1 ways to finance your next laundromat purchase. And we go over the 8 different ways that you can buy your first laundromat. So don't be scared off by the high cost of entry into the laundromat industry. In fact, the good news about that is that the high barrier of entry weeds out a lot of people. And so it's not quite as competitive as some other forms of investment might be, where you don't quite need as much money. Just be resolute in figuring out how to solve that obstacle for yourself wherever you're at. If you have money on hand, it's not going to be as big of a deal. But if you don't have as much money, you're not one of those high paid professionals, you don't have real estate with a bunch of equity, you don't have a ton of money in the bank, that doesn't automatically rule you out. Go check out that article. It has a lot of really, really great information. I'm not just saying that because I wrote it, maybe a little bit of that, but hopefully there's something that'll spark some creativity in you and help you figure out how to get over that obstacle of financing your very first laundromat purchase. So there are a lot of different ways to do that. So we won't go through all of them here because that's a whole other video in it of itself, and we need to go through that in one of these videos. So we'll put that on the calendar. But go read that blog article, links down below, and check that out after you watch the 10 reasons laundromats might be the best investment you can make, and then go read this article. So you got a lot of homework from this video. I bet you're sad that you started watching it. Just kidding. We're going to get you in a laundromat. So let's talk about the next thing. Once you find a laundromat and you figure out a way to pay for it, the next thing you need to do is make sure that that laundromat is performing as advertised. And here's the sad truth about the laundromat industry is that it's kind of stuck in the dark ages a little bit. There are still a lot of brokers out there who will lie and take advantage of you, especially if you're brand new, and they will misrepresent laundromats. They will inflate numbers, and they won't disclose critical bits of information that, frankly, you need in order to make a really good decision. So I personally have fallen prey to that 2 times. Sometimes I'm a hard learner. It takes learning the hard way for me sometimes. And it's a big part of the reason why I'm here doing what I'm doing is that I don't think anyone needs to learn those lessons that I had to learn the hard way. I don't think you need to learn them the hard way. And so that's why we're providing as much information as we can on how to make good decisions and make a good purchase. And it's also why we offer our free coaching program up until you get a laundromat under contract. And so we will help you get under contract with a laundromat. And whether that is serving as your broker, just consulting with you, answering questions that come up during the process, whether that be referring you to someone, a broker who's trustworthy and knowledgeable in our network, or whether that's helping you vet brokers to help you find a good, trustworthy, knowledgeable broker in your market, we will do that for you and with you for free. And so take advantage of that. I'll put a link down below to that too, but that's laundromatresource.com/coaching. If you're interested in that, again, that's free. We do not charge for any of that. There are some paid consulting that we do once you're under contract, or if you own a laundromat and you just need some help, we do one call for free and then we'll charge. But man, take advantage of the free coaching. That's with me. And I personally will kind of talk you through and answer any questions that I can. So make sure you're doing due diligence. If you go download that free ebook, The Keys to Buying Your First Laundromat on our website, it will go through exactly step by step what you need to do to make sure that that laundromat is performing exactly the way that it's advertised. And that I cannot emphasize to you more how critical it is to do your proper due diligence. Again, I was burned more than one time by brokers who straight out lied to me and brokers who kept information from me. That was very, very critical and cost me a lot of money, a lot of heartache and pain for myself and for my family. And I do not want you to go through that. So go get that ebook and go through exactly step by step what you need to do during that due diligence period. All right. I don't want to be a downer, but I just want you to have a good idea of where the laundromat industry is right now in terms of buying and selling laundromats. I would not say that it's in a great place, but I would say that with good knowledge and somebody on your side, on your team, that is a third party whose income does not depend on you buying a laundromat, you will have success and you will find a good laundromat that will provide you cash flow and help you on your way to financial freedom. Okay, so done with the downer stuff. I don't want to be a downer because I do think that laundromats can be a great way to help you achieve financial freedom. So you've gone through, you found a laundromat, you've figured out how you're going to pay for it, and you've done your due diligence. The next step is to go back and renegotiate. A lot of times when you do your due diligence, you'll find things that need repair, or you'll find out that the expenses are a little bit higher than reported. The income might be a little lower than reported. All of these things affect the value of the laundromat. And so you'll need to go back and renegotiate the price. You might need to go renegotiate with the landlord, the lease terms, the lease amount, those kinds of things. But you just want to make sure everything is in a line. You're paying what you should be paying for the laundromat. You have a solid lease set up that is the business can support and sustain and is long-term. You want to have all these things in a row before you sign that final closing document. Because once you do the renegotiations, you feel like you're paying what you should be paying. You feel like your lease is solid. You feel like you know everything you need to know and that you can know. Then you are ready to close on your very first or second or third laundromat. And that's the process of getting a laundromat. Now, obviously, there's a lot more details to it. We can't go over all of them right here in the video. But again, I just encourage you for free, go to laundromatresource.com and sign up for our free ebook, The Keys to Building, The Keys to Buying Your Very First Laundromat. And download that. Again, it's free and we're not going to spam you or anything like that. We just want to put this information in your hands so that you can make good decisions when buying a laundromat. And again, I don't want to scare anyone away from buying a laundromat, but I do want you to be aware that laundromats can be the best investment that you can make as long as you buy them correctly. So, man, that was a lot. I know. Go get that ebook. Go check out that other video. Go read the article on financing. and get excited, because laundromats can be the vehicle that takes you to financial freedom, and it can happen a lot quicker than you might think. So looking forward to giving more information, looking forward to getting to know you. Go create an account on laundromatresource.com and contribute over there. Comment on our blog posts. Go jump into our forums. Right now, our forums are crickets. We haven't really put a ton into it, but we want to start getting more and more content on the forums in order to help more laundromat owners succeed and find financial freedom. So come be a part of it, join us, and help us build it together. So looking forward to seeing you guys in the next video. And again, get excited about laundromats. I'm excited about laundromats. Let's go find financial freedom together using laundromats. All right, we'll see you next time.